Well, good morning. It's 6:30 a.m. It's another beautiful day, and it's day 3 of my 3-day backpack along the kind of Dorset coast. Gentler day today, shorter day, because I have to finish up at Axminster, which is where I pick up the train to go home. So it's a shorter day, and I'm actually decided which route I'm going to take today. I was just debating whether I could walk the beach between Charmouth and Lyme Regis and then head inland from Lyme Regis to Axminster. I believe you can do it, but I think it depends on the tides. I'm not sure, so I need to just see if I can check that out. But that's a possibility. Or I can go straight inland from here, which would be, I don't know, 7 or 8 miles, I think. Might be the better option, because if I do that, I can catch a 2 o'clock train, which goes down the Heart of Wessex line, which is a much more interesting route than the main line, which goes to Salisbury, Southampton, and then back to Poole again. So, I don't know. I've got to think about which of those options I do. But, first of all, I need to get a brew on. I need a coffee. But whatever I do, whichever way I go, it should be a great day. So I hope you're going to join me for day 3. Well, you're watching this video, and I'm going to do it hopefully all as one video. So yeah, hopefully it should be another great day. Perfect. So I don't know if the video camera will pick that up, but got some water droplets in here, and it is one of the things. Obviously, you get condensation, and obviously there's a lot of dew and that sort of thing outside as well. So the tent gets quite wet at night, not inside usually. I mean, the dew's fine. Don't worry about not the condensation's fine. Don't worry about that at all. But it does mean that these sunny mornings are good, because they dry the tent off hopefully by the time I'm ready to go. And the tent will be lighter as a result, because if you get going too early before it's dried out, you're carrying a wet tent, and that's a lot heavier than a dry tent. So yeah, it's good that it's a nice sunny day and there's a bit of breeze as well, because this tent will hopefully lighten my load when it's dry. And oh yeah, I've just checked the tide times and annoyingly they are right against me. High tide is at 9:24 this morning, which is probably just about the time I would be walking the beach. And there are quite a few websites that warn of the danger of being cut off at high tide and the need to find you know, to go in low tide time. So it sounds like that option, which was my preferred option because I've never walked that beach. My preferred option was to do that, but looks like I can't do it. So I've got to think again. Well, everything's out of the tent now. So the last thing to do is to check the tent around, but it looks fine. The sun's been on it for a while today. Just like to make sure it's dry before it goes in the rucksack, ideally. Can't always do it. I've had times when it's been torrential rain when I've been packing the tent up and you have no choice but to do it wet. But that is actually pretty good. The sun has dried it nicely today, so I can collapse the tent. And that's it done. So it's yeah, it's been a really good tent. I've had this tent for years and it's been really good. Does everything I wanted it to do. It was never the lightest, probably, but back in its day, of course, it's so old that it's been kind of superseded now. Get much lighter tents, and tents with more headroom as well, which probably be useful for me because now I'm of an age where it's not comfortable sitting in a tent so much. So a bit more headroom and space would be good, and you can get that and lighter as well now, at a cost of course. And that's it, all stowed away in my 48-litre rucksack. All that remains is for me to oik that on my back and get walking. So let's go for another day. Well, thank you Bit of Grass for your support. It was a nice night. Well, apart from the traffic noise. Now we've got to head out. Well, I'm just about to leave the campsite. You can see or hear why it was so noisy last night. I hadn't realised this campsite was so near the A35, hence why there was so much traffic noise. Never mind, I've got a good night anyway, so it's fine. And I just have to follow the A35 a short distance, I think, and I've decided I'm going to pick up the Monarch's Way. Oh, maybe I can. Let me just look at the map again. No, I was right, I've got to follow the A35 for a short distance. In order to pick up the Monarch's Way, which is I think the way I'm going to take today. Pretty. Yeah, it's a real shame because I've never walked the beach between Charmouth and Lyme Regis before, so I thought today would be a good opportunity to do that. And then to cut inland
from there up through Lyme, which is another lovely walk which I like doing, which would have then taken me out onto Axminster, which is where I need to get to. But high tide is at 9:24, which is pretty well not too long away, so it just would have been impossible. I've been unable to get round the beach, so I'm going to go for option B, or plan B. That's a nice path to start the day with. I've joined the Monarch's Way. The A35 is behind me now, and I'm gradually moving away from it. And this is very pretty with all the buttercups. And even better when I hear the traffic fading away into the distance. Let's put a bird song up there. Can actually see that one. I haven't got my other camera with me, but looks like a chaffinch. Yep, chaffinch it was. Just taking a short detour. Nice little stream running down through here. I don't know if it's got a name, but it's a tributary of the River Char. So this joins the River Char further downstream, and the River Char is the one that obviously drops into the sea at Charmouth, which is why it's known as Charmouth. Anyway, so we're not going that way. We're going this way. Monarch's Way. And I'll tell you what, it is not very backpacking friendly. Can't get through that gate. I'll have to use the big one. Now look at this for another wonderful field of buttercups. Beautiful. Obviously following this tributary, I think. We've got ducks for company as well. have my other lens. Green woodpecker. Just flew across there onto the tree. A yaffle, as they're commonly known. Well, they do like their thin stiles and gateways here. That looks like it's going to be difficult to get through. Right, made it. Kind of forced my way through. Well, it's been a mixed route so far. Mostly really good, lovely buttercup meadows and good paths to walk through, but in between I've had some overgrown woodlands that I've had to kind of barge my way through or hack my way through, and a ploughed field with the path not reinstated, so it was a bit soft trudging, but generally it's good. I mean, I'd expected this to be a good route because it's the Monarch's Way, which is one of our kind of it's not a, obviously not a national trail or anything, but it is a maintained route as far as I know. Well, I hadn't realised how long the Monarch's Way was. It's actually 625 miles long, and apparently it follows the route, rough route, that King Charles II took in the mid-1600s when he was defeated at the Battle of Worcester, and he kind of ran from Worcester through Bristol, Yeovil to Shoreham, West Sussex, to escape England. So I hadn't realised it was that long. So it is, in fact, well, I'm not sure whether it's registered as a national trail, but it's certainly one of our long distance footpaths. In fact, I'm doing two trails in one, because it looks like this is the Wessex Ridgeway as well, which I also hadn't realised. Actually, thinking about it, I suppose that figures, because I have backpacked a chunk of the Wessex Ridgeway, the Dorset section, and I do remember coming down this way and then dropping down to the coast. That was a backpack many years ago that I did with my son Paul. Funny enough, the thing I remember most is getting absolutely soaked on the last day, because it absolutely poured with rain. I remember we were like drowned rats. It's a rather lovely view looking back where I've just come from. Lovely dappled light. Very nice. Tell you what, too many styles on this route. Give me gates, give me gates. Oh no! I'm going to be attacked by dangerous chickens. Beware, chickens in field. It's a lovely place, isn't it? Nice place to live. Looks like we walked through their garden. Yep, must do. Ah, yes. You see the distinctive shaped sign of the Wessex Ridgeway. And we've got another leafy glen with a babbling brook flowing through it. Very nice. And I believe I've got to come out onto the road in a minute. I hadn't realised that the Monarch's Way sign shows the boats, picture of a boat that Charles II would have taken. And another lovely buttercup meadow. Little damselfly fluttering around in front of me here. As I said earlier, I think I haven't got my down there. I haven't got my other camera, so I can't film things like that because I just need to cut some weight. So I tend to film just using the GoPro. In fact, this time particularly I've shot exclusively with the GoPro. Which means you don't get the kind of... Oh, the jay just gone across there. Which means you don't get the kind of little intersections with close-ups of birds, butterflies and flowers and things to break it up. But I just wouldn't be able to carry any more weight, I don't think. Well, presumably I could, but it would be hard. But I have to say, I absolutely love backpacking. I mean, I don't know, on the video, maybe if you watch it and you're not a backpacker, it might seem tedious. You're carrying all this weight on your back and all that time to kind of pitch the tent, set up your camp for one night, only to break it down the next night, next morning, and pack it all away again. It might seem tedious to someone who's never done it, maybe, especially if it happens to be raining or whatever. But yeah, I just love it, and I think it's just amazing freedom. It's just simplicity itself. You walk, you eat, you sleep. You walk, you eat, you sleep. and you haven't got any excess weight with you. And in life we carry a lot of excess weight, I think, and this is just for a short time. It's just simplicity itself, and I just love that. It's got harder probably as I've got older. I could probably do a vlog completely on that subject, to be honest. How it's harder, what's more difficult about it to what it used to be when I was younger. And obviously at 76 going on 77, energy levels, muscle wastage, trying to maneuver in a very small tent, trying to sit on the ground because you don't carry chairs or anything like that, to sit on the ground. Well, it's easier to lay on the ground, to be honest, or sit on the ground when there's something to lean against. It's things like that. I could do a whole thing on that if anybody was interested in that. But despite all that, I absolutely love it, and I really want to keep it going as long as I can. And I'm actually very pleased with how it's gone this time. It'll be somewhere between 35 and 40 miles across the 3 days, and I've managed that. My ankle has managed that, even with some heavy days of walking. A pretty little river. Wonder if it's the same one. More buttercups. It's a lovely field. Well, I'm still following the Monarch's Way at the moment, which joins the road. It's this unclassified road in front of me, little country lane, and it's a very steep road which I'm climbing at the moment, but I'm gathering views as I go. But yeah, I've had to join the road, as did the Monarch's Way, because I couldn't see any off-road routes that would go across this section. See if we can get into the shade a bit, because it's hot climbing these hills. Hopefully we're nearly at the top. That's interesting. That shows the Monarch's Way coming out of that road. So maybe they did take a slight detour cross country. Anyway, they go off left, so they go down that steep hill, which I can't do because it doesn't go in the right direction. I need to go to Axminster to pick up my train. So I've got to stick to the road a bit longer. So in terms of my options today, obviously plan A was to walk around the beach from Axminster to Lyme Regis and then go inland from Lyme Regis up through Lyme, which is a lovely little valley to walk up through. That would have been more off-road than this. Plan B, or the option to that, would have been to take the coast path from Axminster, from Charmouth to Lyme Regis, but that obviously has had a detour on it for as many years as I can remember, so it kind of follows, a fair bit of it follows the road, and an A road as well, and then crosses a golf course. But it's not the most exciting coast path detour that I can think of, to be truthful, and not one I enjoy. In fact, when I backpacked this area last year, if you watch that video, you'll know I was hoping to pick up a bus from Charmouth to Lyme Regis, and but the bus didn't come, so I had to walk it. Anyway, so I didn't want to do that. I couldn't do the coast, beach, so that's why I decided I'd follow the Monarch's way, which looked like an interesting path, and that's been good. But there is another factor in this which I am thinking about as well. The train that I get from Axminster, oh, my name's wrong today, the brain's not in gear. The train I take from Axminster, most of them go to Salisbury, change at Salisbury, head south to Southampton, change again at Southampton to head west to Poole, which is my choice of station to get off at, which is, it's okay, it's simple, 2 changes. But there's another option which is much more fun and more interesting, and that's to pick up a train from Axminster that goes down the Heart of Wessex line. That's a really interesting line that goes from Yeovil down to Dorchester. Single track, kind of old-fashioned if you like, much more interesting. So the problem with that is there aren't many trains that go down that route, and the one that goes today I believe goes at 2 o'clock. So there's kind of part of me that's thinking, let's just keep walking, reach Axminster by 2 o'clock so that I can catch that train home. It's more changes but more fun. So that's what my thinking is at the moment. And I can hear clip clopping behind me, so I suspect there's some horses coming. Now that's what I could have done with coming up that hill. A horse. I need a pump up horse with my rucksack. I can pump up at the hill bottom and ride it to the top and then pack it away again. Or maybe a pack mule. He could come with me and carry all my stuff. I seem to have made it, I think, virtually to the top of the hill now. It's another lovely hedgerow lined hill, or road I should say. We are still on a hill, but gentle one now. I do like hedgerows. I actually quite enjoy walking country lanes when you get these lovely cow parsley, ferny, flowery buttercup, bluebell kind of hedgerows on either side. Very pleasant, especially with this lovely dappled light that's coming through. Hello again. Some absolutely amazing views from here. As always, it won't come out so well on the GoPro, but and that was a horse rider I just said hello to. He obviously came the same way as me. Now, isn't that gutting? Just decided that would be an amazing place to stop for coffee and cake, and they're closed. That's it over there. With tables and chairs out the front looking across this view. What a shame. Oh well, never mind. Oh, this is lovely. It's a bit of a surprise. Coming out of nowhere, this lovely little church. Holy Cross Church. Oh. Look, it's open. It's oh, in fact, is it a church? Looks like it. I don't think it's likely to be open. I'll have a look. No, I don't think it would be. It's one of those smaller churches which is locked. Never mind. Nice to see it. Lovely little church that is. Yeah, very nice. Takes me back to day one and my night stop. with a crazy noisy lot of rooks. Wonder they don't get sore throats. So I decided in the end that I would stay on the country lane, because I mean, there were one or two little bits I could have gone off-road again, but to be honest, the country lane is very pretty, very quiet, and we've got some lovely views all the way down. So I thought I would stay with the hard ground. Plus, of course, it should hopefully get me into Axminster in time to get the train I want to get. So I'm just on the edge of Axminster now. You can see over in the middle of town, can't point to it very well, the church. So that's kind of where I'm heading, which is good because I think I will have time to find some food, which I need, of course, and get to the station in time for the train I want. So I've made good progress today, apart from the steep climb up that on that little tiny country lane. That was slow progress, but after that I've kind of been able to stride out quite well, surprisingly. So I've arrived at the church. Well, I think this might be a good place to actually finish the video. It's very appropriate, I always think, end a backpacking trip. So we'll have a little wander into the church and a quick look round before I head to the station.
The town of Axminster is just across the border in Devon. It takes its name from the River Axe that flows through it, together with its Minster Church. The church dedication is to St Mary the Virgin, and this dates from the 12th century, although the only remaining feature from this time is an external doorway. It was built on the site of an earlier church, but no evidence of that church remains. Most of the current building dates from the 13th to the 15th century, with later additions. In 2013, a major fire broke out in the church, with significant damage being caused. Out of this disaster, however, good came, because during the restoration process, some unique wall paintings were uncovered. Unusually, these showed layers of paintings painted directly on top of earlier paintings, with no lime wash layer between. The earliest of these date from the 13th century, but most are from the 15th or early 16th century, as well as some 17th century text panels.
Well, that was a quick look around Axminster Church. Delightful way to end the backpack, and a delightful church. Lots of interest in there, so I hope you enjoyed looking around that with me briefly. But it is time to sign off the video now. I need to head for the station in order to pick up my train. But don't sign off the video just yet, because all being well, I should be filming on the Heart of Wessex line, dropping down from Yeovil to Dorchester, so stay tuned for that. All being well, that'll be coming up soon. But I need to sign off the speaky part of the video at this point. So yeah, it's been an absolutely awesome 3 days. Really good, perfect weather, some fantastic walking, some amazing views, and great camping as well. Couldn't have been better, to be honest. It has been absolutely amazing, and to be able to manage to do another backpack again at my age, my time of life, I am so grateful for that, because I do love my backpacking. Anyway, thanks so much for coming with me. I hope you've enjoyed it and found it interesting, wow, you know what I'm going to say, I have absolutely loved it as always. So thanks so much for coming with me, but for now, this is me, the Dorset Rambler, saying until next time. Will that be a backpack? I don't know. Or an ordinary walk, whatever. Till next time.